In this video, you will learn how to graph data in various ways. So if you collect a set of data, such as a table, where here, for example, we have the last 4 years and the amount of money that we earned the last 4 years. A table is good, but sometimes it's good to represent this data in other ways, because many of us understand more clearly if we see a picture of something. So what we can do is we can create from this table what is called a bar graph. This bar graph represents the same data we see over here in the table, where your x-axis down here would be the year, and then your y-axis, the height of each bar, is the amount of money earned. And notice on the side here we have a scale, so we go up by $50,000 each line. So here we can tell by looking at each of these bars the amount of money earned and see that there's a trend where over time the amount of money is increasing. So a bar graph is one way to picture the data we collect. Another way is with what we call a line graph. A line graph basically will plot each point and then connect each point with a line segment. So each point is found by looking at the year and the money earned, where the year, this first column, is our x-axis, so that's what we see down here each year, and then the y column, the second column, is your y value. So here 250,000 is your y value, whereas 2015 is your x value. So this consists of one point. So here we have our first point here at 2015, comma 250,000. So we plot that point right here. The next point is 2016 and 281,000. So we go over to 2016 and then go up to 281,000 to get the second point. And we do the same thing for each point to get these 4 points and then connect each point with a line segment. So a line graph is very helpful to see trends over time. And this is particularly useful if you have a larger set of data. So if it's not very easy to tell by looking at a table, or maybe even a bar graph, many times a line graph will help us see more clearly what the trend is. Now, how do you create these different types of graphs? Well, in the past, before today's age, you had to create these graphs by hand many times. But now with technology, you can create this with many different tools, such as PowerPoint. You can use Microsoft Excel, and there's various other ways to create these same graphs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you through PowerPoint how to create these graphs from the given table. And then from PowerPoint, you can use some of the same information for other programs such as Excel or something else. So here we are in PowerPoint with this table. So what I can do to create a bar graph, I go in here where it says Insert, and then click on Insert, and then it gives you all these different options. And right here we see Chart. Click on Chart, and we see a whole nother list of options. And what I want to do is create a column graph. So right here where it says column, click on it, and then press OK. So now it's going to pull up this screen where I can create different columns and rows, and from this list of data it's going to create this bar graph for me. So here what I have is just two sets of numbers, the year and the money earned. What I want is I want the category to be the year, so we type those in, and then for the money earned, we want that to be our series 1. So I can delete these other two series, and now we just have this one series, and you type in the money earned. So we have 250,000, and then we have 281,000 for the next year. Then we have 293,000, and then 330,000. And there we have it. Okay, so now we go into here, We can resize if we want. So we can change the size. We can mess with the different headings up here. So we can change that if we wanted to as well. We can get rid of the legend at the bottom. So the series 1, that's gone now. We can change the chart title, maybe by clicking on it, to be, let's say, earnings. And there's a lot more you can do once you have this bar graph. But that's the basics. So from here you can experiment and change different things. Now, what if you want to create a line graph? Well, same process. You go to Insert, go to Chart, and then let's do Line Graph right here. Press OK, and it's going to be the same kind of setup. So again, I can delete series 2 and 3. And again, I want my category to be the year. So 2015, 16, 17, and 18. And then series 1 would be the money. So type each of those in, and there we go. Exit out of this, and now we have our bar graph. Let's resize this and move it down here to the bottom. Okay, there we go. And you can make this a little bit smaller like that. And sometimes it's good if you wanted, you can have the points plotted. So right now it's just one line, right? Like it's kind of hard to tell where the points are exactly. If I wanted to, I can add points, and I can go in here and change the type of series, or change the type of a line graph. So you can pick one that suits your purposes. And right here, this one's pretty good because we have points now. So now we have points. It's kind of small still, but it's better than it was. Okay, and then once you get to this, you can do all sorts of things. You can change the heading here. We'll call this earnings. And then let's take away this series 1 down here at the bottom. So go in here, let's uncheck the legend. So uncheck the legend, and you can do that. And then you can add borders if you want. So in my original slide up here, you saw I had borders. You can do that as well. Just right click, and you do outline. So you can change the color, you can change the weight, make it thicker. So right there's a border, kind of separates it from everything else. All right, so within PowerPoint is pretty quick to do once you have your set of numbers. So we've seen how to graph with a bar graph. We've seen how to graph with a line graph. Another way we can represent data is with a pie chart. So here, for example, we see a list of data collected. So this could be from a high school or wherever. And we see that from the freshman class, there are 15 students. Sophomores, there's 23. Juniors, we have 18. And seniors, we have 30. So from this, we can create a pie chart, which is very easy to tell which group has a larger percentage represented. So here, for example, we see a pie chart with that data. So we have basically a circle, and the circle is broken up into certain percentages based off the amount of people that we have collected. So for freshmen, this 15, that is 17% of the entire population. Sophomores, we see 23, that's 27% of the total people. Juniors have 18, and that would be 21% of the entire population there. And seniors, we see 30 people, which is 35%. So a pie chart is a quick way to see how different demographics are broken down, or if you have something that deals with percentages, this is a good way to show that data. So the question is, now how do you create a pie chart? So let me take a moment and show you how to do that in PowerPoint. So here we are within PowerPoint, and what I can do is I can click Insert and then click Chart, And then here we see the option of pie chart. So click on that, press OK, and now we see that we can type in our data right here. So in this first column, we're going to put the classification. Second column is going to be number of students. So we have sophomores, we have 23, juniors, we had 18, and then for seniors, we had 30. Okay, and then this is not sales, this is number of students. All right, so now we have our data inputted. We can exit out of this. And now we have our pie chart. So we can resize this to whatever we want. And the only thing now is we don't have the percentages like we did when I just showed you a minute ago. Like right here we have the category, then we have the percent. We can do that in here different ways. So for a lot of things we're doing, you would click on right here, we have chart styles. But for some reason, when you explore through these different options, these ones you cannot do. I guess this one has it. You can have the category with the percentage, but this is kind of weird looking. So what I can do is I can go up here to quick layout and see right here, layout 1 has what I need. So just click right there. Now we have the category, and then we also have the percent. And so there's a lot more you can do with the pie chart. Different things you can add, different ways you can make it look. And in addition, there's all sorts of different ways that you could create different types of graphs. So we've just done pie graph, we've done bar graph and a line graph. But if you look in here in the options, we have all sorts of different options. We had an area chart, XY scatter plot, map, stock, surface, radar, all these different options. So it depends on what you are trying to accomplish. That will determine which one you want to use.